This could be kind of a serious one. Um, I'm looking around and now I'm in like the sort and categorize stage to get all of this like finalized and cleaned up. And I'm just like looking at it all and like how did this happen, right? Like mess, mess, junk. Like this is like probably, especially this, like all of that under there is not trash. That's like boxes that I've tipped over. And obviously the table is crazy. And I've just been like thinking like how do I get myself out of this? But two, how do I just not go right back into this? And I've just been thinking and reflecting about like how I even got here. Cause like this is crazy. Like I was even like debating not even putting it on camera. I mean, I'm sure there's been glimpses of it in the background, but when I was 24 and I'm 35 now, so 24 or 25 ish, I was in the process of moving and I was moving into an apartment and I put almost everything I owned into a storage shed. And I'm sure you can tell where this is going. I had like, obviously I have some stuff, like you've seen some stuff I've had from when I was a kid, but I maybe like two Subaru Imprezas worth of carloads at this apartment. And everything else I owned was in the storage shed. And I don't even want to get into like what was in the storage shed, but let's just say it would have been life altering to have been able to have that stuff. One, to get to my kids, and like two, to sell, especially with the price of Pokemon cards and Magic cards during COVID. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. But everything I had in that storage shed, due to a little bit of malice on one person's part and a little bit of negligence on another family member's part, it was all stolen. So I lost everything, like literally everything that I owned except for two like small carloads. Actually, I had a hatchback at the time, so two hatchback loads that I had like literally just moved like a week into this apartment. I was like going back and the storage shed was like this way and where I worked was this way. And so, you know, I didn't think it was like that pressing to go and get everything, which was really my fault. Like I shouldn't have trusted who I trusted to use that storage shed. And really, like, I just should have got it out anyway. I can't really blame anybody else for that. But that was a moment in my life where I kind of embraced this idea of radical accountability, that no matter what happens to me, it's my fault. And that was a lesson that I took away from that, and there are a couple of other experiences I had when I was in early 20s. But anyway, so I kind of started just rebuilding the collection, you know, like a little bit of like chasing stuff I had when I was a kid, rebuilding the Warhammer stuff. And I'm just going to pace around and ramble. And I kind of like, so I started rebuilding the Warhammer armies that I had. And obviously in my head, like I was going to be able to jump right back in and just paint. Like I didn't think about the countless hours and years of painting all the stuff that I had. So I immediately just kind of jumped back in and I was working. And at that time I had just met my wife, like we were freshly dating. So I still had, I was kind of making big boy money then. But anyway, I was able to just like do what I wanted to do with my money, right, with relatively low responsibilities. So just kind of immediately started just buying like the books, the video games, not really video games at that point, but just like the books, the toys, the Warhammer stuff, the hobby stuff, really just kind of trying to just regain all that. And then bought the house that we're in now, which sucks. I'm grateful and thankful to have a house, but it was a bad decision, very bad decision to purchase this specific house. But anyway, and then like getting married and having kids, the only way that I really engaged with the hobby was buying stuff. Like I wasn't playing, I wasn't painting. Occasionally I'd build stuff, but really the only way that I was engaging with this thing that I love was buying. And not even taking care of it, obviously. Like it's in pile, it looks like trash, you know, like this is just straight up like I should be on an episode of Hoarders, which is also like pretty embarrassing too, honestly. So I'm using my shame to clean. I mean, and it's not like dirty, you know, it's just like I keep it clean, but it's just like clean piles of junk. So I got to keep going through this. And I'm at the point now where like I have relatively good idea of what I'm going to do with the space and I'm going to organize it. But it really, to actually change who you are and what you're doing, you have to think about the reasons of why you're doing it and like how you got to that place. And you don't want to just go right back to it. Like I've already spent like 2 weeks cleaning and it's still this low. To give you an idea of how bad it really was, I don't want to spend the rest of the month getting this workspace all cleaned back up again, only to do the same things that got me here. So it's just time to change, and it's like it's time to address like why I have these flaws and where they came from, and why I'm doing these things that I don't want to do anymore. And a big part of that is buying. Like, I got to stop buying. The next wave of Dusk, the Fane of Nero, comes out in June of next year, June or July. So not buying any War Machine until then. Sorry, Steamforge. I love you guys, but I think I'm done on the purchasing department there. I have everything I need to play Dusk to 100 points. It might not be like a meta list, especially with things changing, but worst case, I could print the rest of Dark Operations or Crucible Guard. Looks really cool, but I don't want to project hop. See, I'm doing the thing again that I do, but I have enough to play all the games that I want to play. I don't need to purchase anything else until June, and my 6 months really, we're pretty much, in my mind, we're in the new year, because I got to do all the prep starts today if I want to actually hit the ground running in the new year. So just not going to buy anything for at least 6 months until June, until Dusk comes out. I have more than enough stuff to do in the meantime, more than enough projects, more than enough. And I really, I want to paint, I want to get really good at War Machine. I would like to start playing Infinity, and I want to get really good at painting, really, really good at painting. Maybe set a goal of actually going to, I don't know, probably spending the next 3 years trying to think of when realistically the kids could handle me going somewhere, or maybe even coming with me. So 2 to 3 years of painting every day with the intent of getting very good at painting, and then maybe going out to a Golden Demon. I think I'm pretty good for an average painter, but I have a long way to go to get up to where I'd like to be. So I think it's time to start that. But it starts with this workshop and turning this into a studio. I call it the dungeon because I'm down in a basement. And it's very much a hoarder's dungeon right now. But it's time to turn this into a studio and a place where I can clear my head and be healthy and be a place of creativity and creation. And it starts with just kind of looking at these bad habits within myself, figuring out why they're there, and now having the discipline and the mental fortitude to not go back and do the same dumb shit over and over again. Okay, hobby-wise, I fixed everything that was broken from the Dust starter set. I think that's actually the expansion set. It's whichever box Hazaroth comes in. So I got all those guys fixed and the support lines removed. Got the cat magnetized this guy. I got to clean this shelf off. It's pretty dusty. I just brought this from the garage, actually. Got that magnetized. Dusk-wise, I just got to do the Phantasm. And the Phantasm is 75% done. A little bit more magnetizing I need to do. But I got everything that was broken or warped and all the supports off and everything sanded. All the stuff that's a pain in the butt done. And just a little bit more magnetizing to do on that. So I got that done today too. And so the goblins, I haven't abandoned them. Really just my mentality with the goblins was those are how I make sure that I get brush on something. So I'm really I don't know, maybe 15 minutes a day. Probably I finish 2 goblins a day lately. And I think before the end of this month, I'll sit down and however many are left, I'll just bang them all out. And then that's when I'll make the final goblin video. But I've been thinking, I get so sidetracked building stuff and not hobbying that I think it'd be good for me to just build everything that I want to paint next year and just have it all knocked out. So that's really kind of what I've been doing, which maybe sounds crazy, but it's kind of the same mistakes that I've been making, but optimizing the mistake and making the most of it. So I've got, I've built all these Infinity guys. Yeah, I built these. I got all those guys built. Let me open this up. They're still kind of all over the place, but I've almost built every Infinity model I own. I only have 4 or 5 Infinity models left. And I'm going to use the Infinity to practice painting just because there's so many different textures. It's a smaller scale, so I think it'll be harder. And there'll be a lot of opportunity to learn and try new techniques. And also, they don't all have to look uniform. I'll do things to tie the force together, but I think I'll be able to get away with trying different methods and different things on them. The Dusk is here. Then what else was I building? So in the closet, all the orcs are built, obviously. All the vampire counts. All the vampire hobbits are built. I'm going to build the Mordheim. He's built. But I found, look at this. Look at this. So I found the zombies. So I gotta do the undead Mordheim warband. I need a necromancer. So I'm on the lookout for a necromancer in my collection somewhere. I don't think I have the official one. I know I don't have the official one, but I think I have some cool ones. I'll be able somewhere in here is 80 painted crypt ghouls. So I've pretty much got the Mordheim warband. Gotta build this. If you know what this is, I've been waiting too long. This is definitely on the list for next year to paint. Miscellaneous RPG models that I don't plan on painting all of these, but there's just like a various assortment of them that I want to paint for all of these, because I just want to start doing role-playing games more too. And I'm not going to build these right now, but it's going to be like the last project I have that I want to do for next year. But Lord of the Rings, multiple Lord of the Rings armies. I really want to get into that game really, really badly. So, like I said, I'm not going to build them. I'm going to keep them in the box for now. But next year for sure. So think I'm being pretty ambitious with the amount of projects I have. So I'm not gonna worry about anything else. I think maybe I'll do one more Trench Crusade warband. So boom, these guys, they're all primed and ready to go. And then obviously Motley Crue is staring me in the face every day. But I think that's like the next year of this YouTube channel. So if none of that stuff interests you, stop watching, unsubscribe. I think I'm sure there'll be like little bits. I like the Necromunda stuff. I'll piece in little bits of conversion stuff here and there, but I really just want to get all the building for the next year done. And I'm pretty much there. Like I said, this less than 20 figures to build, and I'll have everything I want to paint for the next year. And Kingdom Death's gonna be rough. I gotta get all that built, but other than that, and I'll probably build Kingdom Death just because I can start playing that immediately. I want to get more into like solo playing, just because it's looking like I'm probably not going to be able to leave the house for a bit. So I'm going to get good by playing War Machine at home and on War Table, and looking into like solo play opportunities, because I have time where I could play, but I don't have time where I could like leave the house a ton. So that's the vision for the channel, is really documenting my progress on like getting good at a game. And I'm going to try to make that apply to any game, like the steps you take to get good. And the other thing is like getting really good at painting and solo, hopefully not all solo, but solo role-playing games. Just because I think like the storytelling and the creativity, and that's really where my heart lies. And then other than that, I don't know what the future has. Casting stuff is somewhere. Also for the toads, I didn't realize that Tuesday was a holiday, and I shipped them out of my office. So the UPS guy or the post office guy didn't come to pick it up. But those are, I manually, I didn't realize that until this weekend when I was going back through and looking at stuff. So sorry about that, but they have actually shipped now, finally. Very sorry for that. Just totally blanked on it. I had them at the office. Usually the USPS guy picks up packages for us from there. But those are good now. One more, I'm going to go hard on Relic Blade. I have been a big fan of Relic Blade for a while, but just haven't gotten around to actually painting my stuff. So that's also, Relic Blade's also on the list for next year.